Right, so this listener says, the year's episode made me retch a few times, but it was funny. I do wonder, for those who are faint-hearted, yeah, we did have a couple comments about the sound of us chewing. Some people like that. I don't know. I didn't even think about it. Did you hear it when you were doing the recording, like the chewing?
Well, the editing,
Yeah.
I cut a lot of it out. So whatever people have heard, they're lucky because a lot of it's gone.
Never to be heard again. But I wanted to write into the show to show some love. And I saw you have helped a lot of people this year, and you should both commend yourselves for it. I have
Thank
another
you.
relationship issue. My girlfriend is very much controlling in the evenings. I cannot use my phone in any which way. She has taken control of who... She has taken control all the TV shows we watch, and I have sold my Xbox recently because she never gives me time to play. That's mental. I'm in the process of selling my car because she believes we do not need two cars because I work from home. I love my girlfriend and I do not understand how it's come to this point. I really just let all these things happen, and I don't know how to bring us to an understanding where we both can enjoy a relationship. Sorry, that confused me a bit there. Any advice would be welcome. To tag at the end of this email, how do you guys celebrate your Easter as families? I'm curious. Okay, so we'll knock out the Easter one. Sure. I don't. We stopped giving chocolate. We now give like gifts. So I got like a vinyl. So did my brother and that. And then maybe I'll have dinner with them. It's not really Easter's we're all lactose intolerant. Easter's a shit holiday, to be honest. You know what I mean?
I was not expecting you to say that.
Well, it is. Chocolate was the reason why I gave up dairy, because I went fucking total like 3 Easter eggs in one day. I was so ill I could barely walk from the toilet, and I was like, I'm done. That's it.
Fucking
I was like, nah, I give it up. So Easter is really not a holiday for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm the same really. I will see my family, and because it's a long weekend. We tend to do. I'll see my family. My mum just had an operation, so we went round and we cooked for her. And then we'll see Charlotte's family over the weekend because it's also Charlotte's mum's birthday on the same weekend. But we're not religious. Couldn't give a fuck when Jesus was born, died, whatever. So, fuck all to do with us, really. I do think in Britain, Easter's like less and less a holiday than it ever was before.
Yeah,
I think it's just a time for families to meet up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
One day,
unless you're religious, no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, because that's the end of. Is it Lent? Is that the word?
I don't know, bruv.
Because you're supposed to give up for a certain amount of something for a certain amount of days, and then Easter is a day when you can have it back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like Pancake Day. One day you'll turn around and be like, "When's Easter?" And you'll be like, "Last week." Oh.
I only know because it's a long weekend. That's the only reason I know it's there. And
yeah, Easter Sunday.
My mum has this weird thing because we were all brought up Catholic. In being a Catholic, you don't eat on Good Friday. Meat. You don't eat meat on Good Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is a thing if you're a Catholic. Yeah.
Right.
Then I said to Mum, I'm going to a steak restaurant on Good Friday. And she's like, well, you can eat fish. I was like, why the fuck would I eat fish in a steak restaurant? I said, Charlotte's family ain't Catholic. I didn't even think about that. But she still has weird things like that where she won't eat meat on Friday. But other than that, no. I just won't see Mum on the Friday if she's not giving me meat.
That was such a dodgy line.
Yeah, that's got to be a TikTok, Dan.
I was like, there's so many things I could do with that, but I'm just gonna leave it out there.
Yeah, just leave it for people's imaginations. I don't want to hear it.
Make a meme out of that one. When it comes to the controlling in the relationship, you need to push back, man. Like, she's making all the rules and you're just taking it. I can understand that, like, we just spoke about Xbox and things like that. Like, mine's there and I do want to buy game and stuff, but I just don't have the time. And that's not like so I can get that. But like, getting rid of 2 cars, unless you're in problems financially, it's always good to have an extra car, because what happens if one goes wrong? What happens if you're not working from home and you have to go into the office? Like, you know what I mean? It's just better to have
On
it
top
if
of that,
you can.
if she's out at work and what are you stuck at home? You can't go nowhere.
Yeah, it's like a caged
Doesn't make
animal.
no
Isn't
sense to me.
it?
I genuinely think, like in my heart of hearts, my psycho bell is going off in my head at the minute. Like you might love this girl, but she's chipping away at you and trying to take a single aspect at a time away from you, and it's manipulation. Like I'm watching Married at First Sight Australia, which is another terrible reality show. But there's a guy on there called Harrison. He's manipulating the shit out of this girl that he's with called Bronte. And this is what he does to her. He chips away, takes certain things away from her as they're going through the relationship. And it ends up, the only thing in the life that Bronte's going to have is Harrison. And that sounds very similar to this situation. And I think, I agree with Dan, you need to fight back and say, I'm not selling my Xbox or I'm not selling my car. Unless you're in serious difficulty financially, as Dan said, there's no reason for you to sell these things.
Yeah.
There's no reason.
I don't think it's like a negative thing to push back. I think like every relationship you have like fights and arguments and that, but that just sets like, you know, your levels where you are as a relationship. If she's just going to keep pushing on one side, then yeah, like Jamie says, you're just what you're going to have. Like, if anything worse comes to worse and you end up breaking up, what are you going to be left with? Nothing.
I've been with Charlotte for 10 years, and she very much has domesticated me. Yeah. In a way that I was a fucking lunatic when we first met up, and there's a lot of positive things that Charlotte's done, but there is every now and then when Charlotte tries to push something too far, where I tell her to fuck off. I say, no, I'm not doing that, or I'm not going here to do this. I don't want to go and do that, or etc. etc. And vice versa. If I was like, if like Birmingham just gone, if I had said to her, do you want to go? And she was going to spend a few hours with your other half that she's never met before in her life for a few hours. If that wasn't in her comfort zone, she would have said no to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she was quite happy to do it. And that's because we have that conversation where we're actually being open with each other.
Yeah.
And I think you need that push and pull. It can't be all one-sided. And a lot of people do go that way for an easy life, but
yeah, I did.
Yeah, it didn't end up well for you at the time.
No, like I was doing the same. Like, and she would say things like to me, "Oh, but you don't really like going out though, do you? You're quite happy staying inside, so that's okay." And I just sit there and think to myself, "No, I want to go out, but I'm spending all the money keeping a roof over your head, so you can fucking go out." And then she used to come home and be like, "Why hasn't the washing up been done?" I'm like, I don't know. Why hasn't it been done? And stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, no, you need to. Like I said, it's not a negative thing. She's just
set your boundaries.
Yeah, she might just be something she's doing, and because you're taking it, she's just doing more and more. So you just gotta, while it's happening now, just be like, look, don't be rude about it. Just be like, look, I don't think it's necessary, and I don't want to do it. And then she knows like you're gonna sort of stand up. works the same way for women as well. We're only we're only doing it this way because of the listener, but it works the same way. Men can be just as controlling. The same thing.
I think men are possibly worse. Like from relationships that I know, some men can be way over controlling, and if your partner is telling you that you can and cannot do things all day every day, you need to fight back to it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up in a situation where you're not being yourself. And I think I'm a strong advocate for that, because I was that arsehole guy one time back in the day where I used to be like so paranoid about them going and meeting other guys that I would be like, oh no, we're not going out there. We're not going to go to Milton Keynes that day or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was all because of my own insecurities. And I do kind of agree with having screen time bans from phones and stuff, because if you're sitting there all evening with your head in your phone, you're not paying attention to each other. Yeah. So that can be a positive thing. But if it's an all the time thing, then that's controlling.
Yeah. Or if you've got a podcast and you have to check the analytics every 10 minutes.
To be fair, you didn't do it as much as I thought you would over the weekend. I thought you were going to be constantly saying
it. Like, if I'm not texting anything, she knows what I'm doing, and I'll be sitting there, pull my phone out, she'll be like, how many listens now? It's bad a habit I'm in. But, we want healthy relationships, so don't be rude, just stand up for yourself and just say, just speak your mind. And if she bites your head off, then just tell her fuck off.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, don't back down.
Pretty much.
Just because, you think you'll lose or anything like that. If you don't want to do something, you shouldn't have to, whether you're in a relationship or not. That's not right.
No.
So be strong, man. Let us know how it goes. And keep hold of that car, man. You need that. What are you going to do when you want to go out for McDonald's or a Burger King when she's at work? Because you
and hide it in a
that's
plastic bag as you walk past your ring doorbell.
Your ring doorbell. Maybe don't get a ring doorbell when you should be tracking everything you be doing.